Hey guys, and welcome back. Today we are going to take a look at what we picked up from Neca's little vault experience there. What a disappointment that all was. But we snagged ourselves a power loader P-5000 Deluxe vehicle from Aliens. And I'm going to let you know right now, we do not have the figure that's supposed to go with this, but we've got some other figures that we are going to mess around with and see what we can get inside there. But let's go ahead and check out this power loader. Now then, straight out the box, we have got this nice little pop together piece holding this guy in there, and he's bent over, so he's going to be a pretty hefty looking piece. I'm glad that he does not look as bright yellow as he appeared. We'll go ahead and get a good look at him. This literally just has these little pop pieces here. And we've got hands there and probably the antenna pieces or something. Oh, that feels interesting. Don't you? You feel interesting. Oh man, look at this. These are all super rubbery. That's cool. That is a lot. That is a lot of just, jumbled cords going on right there. It's pretty cool. Let's see here. Got a little movable pieces. Let's go ahead and put your legs down, stand you up, get a good look at you. Whoop, we're popping things up. All right, well that's where we're gonna put a person. Oh, look at that. That is all nice and a headrest. It's a little bit bendable. Feels like that should not be as bendable as it is though. Unfortunately, do you have something to do with your legs here that would be a little bit better? Because I feel your legs kind of suck. Ooh, you want to fall forward? We're going to mess around with it for a second. Alright, we pulled this guy out. We sat here, we messed around with him. We played around a lot. We shoved a figure in there. Your hardest part of putting anything in here is going to be the fact that it seems like it is specifically sculpted for one specific figure, which is that what is it, that Riley Ripley whatever from Aliens. Excuse me, I'm not that familiar with the franchise, to be honest. I just wanted big robot machine, so it seems like it's specifically sculpted around for her to fit in here. And she does come actually with hands, if I remember where I sat them. She's right here. And it comes with these hands for her that are these big extra wide grab hands. So you can see there, it's like an extra wide like grip hand. Because if you look in here, see if we can get right up in there, you got these handlebars that actually slide the length of this entire thing. Now, this is one of the issues I actually do have with this piece. Aesthetically, it makes it look superb and awesome because this thing actually is pretty cool. I really like messing around with it and playing with it. Like, you know, if we go right into some articulation, like all of these move individually, which I think is pretty cool, but at the same time, it doesn't have anything to like lock it in. So if you really wanted to use it as like a power loady type thing, like you're gonna have a fun time trying to find a way to get these around whatever you want to hold in a way that's going to maintain holding that. Like, let's see if we can actually do even just this. Hold this. I'll hold you so you don't fall down with it. But yeah, see, like, he's holding that pretty well. See if we can hold it from the top side. Come on. Like, it needs some kind of smoother way to go about, which would make this like just a little bit more over the top. There you go. You kind of got to get it. I don't know if you can really see, like, instead of being like straight flush with these rods and this metal piece here, we can zoom in here real quick. You've got this metal rod and another one on the other side, and they're two separate little dowel rods. And then you've got this like plastic piece, and then this is like flush with that plastic piece and these rods, and there's holes through and a little clip, and it just kind of holds itself on there. So you got to kind of angle it in a way that he will hold whatever you need to hold. So because as soon as you straighten out and allow it to drop a little bit, he's going to immediately let go of that pressure on it. Fix that camera. All right. So let's go ahead and check out the height of this guy. He is 10 inches. I think you could push 11 because he comes with these little rod things here. And if we look at him, we're doing everything a little bit backwards, and I apologize for that, guys. But we got a little hole right here that this slots into, and you can see a little hole on this side, little hole on this side. And they just peg right in there. It doesn't come with any instructions or anything, but that's what makes sense. So, about 11 inches to the top of that, I would say. Yep, looks about right, about 11 inches. Now, if we come in and get a little bit closer here, we can see all this different detail work. On every promo pic, and even as I'm looking at the camera right now, it's showing this like very, very yellow look, like almost like too clean of a look. I'm telling you, in person, it has a lot more dingy mustard, like dark mustard yellow coloring to it. Like definitely aged. There's definitely all this like work in here. You can see some of this detail on my camera that I'm seeing right here. I wonder if we can adjust a few things, if you can see that better. That makes it look so much worse, honestly, from my perspective on this camera. But it is a lot more yellowed, weathered, and all of that, like how you would expect and want. I don't know why, it's just like on these cameras, it is not doing it justice, and it could be just the fact that I am personally doing everything on a cell phone, so doing my best with that. But, woo, don't fall over. That is my one main gripe, is that these legs, the feet, is just too, they're short. Like, they need to be a little bit more long so you can, like, really hold him up. That is more of a design of the show issue or movie issue, in my opinion, because as far as I can tell, this is accurate. But, like I said, I am not an expert in this franchise at all. But as far as articulation that you are getting here, you do have a full range with the legs. You can actually move them all about. You do got a knee as well where you can like bend it. And the thing that you got to be careful about whenever you're moving him around, all these pistons, they are like functional. And you can see that this slides up in there as you move this. And like you can see that it kind of has a weird bend to it too and stuff, like from probably not moving right. But he's very stiff and hard to like actually move about, and you do got to be careful of these pistons and the pistons down here for the ankle as well. And this is a big ratchet, like this whole thing's like on, you know, I think this one too, like all of it is it's a big ratchet thing. You can see right here those piston works when you move that about. That's pretty cool. You got all this going on here for all this detail work here, and you can see that piston work going on here as well when you move that arm. It's a really nice feature. All this stuff kind of gets all up in your way a little bit. Same here, piston on this elbow as well. The way you got the arms is kind of a little bit cheaply done, but it works. You've got this, let's see if we can get a grip on here where we can actually see what we're doing again. All right, so you've got this one piece right here holding up the entire arm and everything, and you can rotate it independent of that, and against it as well. So you get that like kind of double range of movement there. You get that like whatever way you want to go up and down on that hinge. You get the twists on both of these. You can move both of these independent of each other. Like this one feels a little bit looser than like the other side did, but it could just be like holding it at the right angle and everything. Like if you squeeze a little bit right here, it feels like it's easier to move than like if you just try to push it. So I don't know if it has like a little somewhat of a pressure-y thing to it, but it's not too great. Now, putting the figures in, this whole thing pops up. I can see what they mean. I heard that these get in the way, which is why they're removable. But you can pop this whole thing up. And then this is something I wanted to bring up. Let's get this guy out of here first. So, you get this whole strap system, right? And I'm going to show you. There's this little piece that sits in here. I don't know if it's supposed to be glued in, but mine's like a little pop in and out piece, it seems. So I don't know if it like just doesn't have all the glue, if the glue broke off, because it doesn't appear that there is actually glue. And this is another reason why it's going to be a little bit hard to properly get a figure in here, because even him, like that foot soldier, I did not have him in here all buckled down like this. So if you've seen the way I just did that, it all folds and fits together like that, and you've got that much room to have a figure in here, and that's barely 2 fingers worth of space on my fingers, and it's just such a tight space. Even like the scrawny thin figures, it does not like fully wrap around, doesn't let you clasp it closed. And then another issue you're gonna have is the foot space here and everything. So you've got this whole molded spot for a leg to go into, and his feet were the thinnest like male foot that I could find on a Neca figure. And even him, like I had to have him like heeling it with just his toes up in there to kind of get in there. And then, you know, that brings you to where his knee is above here, so like you're not exactly where you need to be on that, but he could reach to those being in there. I could close this back up around him like you've seen. I can put his head through this top piece here and have that across his chest, so it looks like he's strapped in. And I don't know, unfortunately, like I said, I do not have the, is it a Ripley or a Riley? I forget. I apologize again for my lack of knowledge on the franchise, but when you see a big, giant, cool robot, you gotta buy a big, giant, cool robot. All that detail work. My main issues is that you're gonna break pistons. You're gonna have a hell of a time finding anything besides your aliens thing to do with this. Like, I know a few people have talked to me about like wanting to put like that new Professor Perry in here in his like jumpsuit to put him in like one of their lab dios. I think that's a super cool ass ideal. I don't think he's going to fit in there. Like, if there's a way that you can like take some heat or something, it does not feel like these are going to give you all that bend you want. And yes, he's a little bit more rubbery than solid plasticky, which is a good and a bad thing. But my main issue, you don't have this whole wide array of articulation. I keep saying my main issue. Like, I don't have a lot of issues with it per se, except for the fact that I'm not going to do what I wanted to do with him. Probably going to go into a trade pile. Super cool, though. Super cool. In presentation, he has such a great look. Functionality, you better do what they want you to do with him, I guess. You know? See if we can fix him out here. I love those ratchets, though. That oh shit, we're just failing miserably on this right now. Come on, work with me. Stand, stay. There we go. Enjoy, guys. I think he's super cool. He could have gotten to some electronics though. Like this little light is so translucent, you could like totally put a little actual light in there. It'd be pretty cool. Pretty cool. I like it. Thanks, guys.